this investors education series. It has been quite interesting. Today is Monday. What a beautiful Monday afternoon. And we'll be talking about habits of millionaires, common habits of millionaires. Because the essence of this program is to ensure that investors are aware of what it takes to be a millionaire. And of course, they say if you want to be something, you have to study the habits of those people who are already millionaires. So we'll be looking at some of the common habits of a millionaire. My name still remains Charles Fakrogha, and it is your number one business radio, Broad Street Radio. Yes, when we say millionaire, of course, I can even say billionaires, Yeah, because if somebody is a millionaire in Nigeria, by the time you convert that to US dollars, what are we talking about? So let's say, okay, billionaires, While growing up, you hardly hear anybody who is a billionaire, is multi-millionaire, millionaire. But today, we just say 1 billion naira. You're already a billionaire. So what are some of these habits that let me even call them wealthy people? What are some of the habits that they have? That if one can study, develop that habit, one can also become one of them. We have this popular saying in the market that if you want to invest your money, invest where the billionaires are, because they will not want their fortune to come below a billionaire. So most market analysts, most traders, they just look for where the billionaires are investing, and of course, they also invest there. Of course, in the US, we have somewhere like Warren Buffett. When he puts his money in a particular company, most people want to put their money in that company. But his own investment philosophy is about value. He looks for firms, companies that has value, not immediate, but he sees the value and he invests in those companies. Like you will say that the companies are usually undervalued, but him looking at it will say that this company has value in future. And of course, it's also very critical about the management of those firms. And he keeps telling investors, if you cannot hold any company for 10 years, then don't even invest in that company. He has this philosophy of investing for the long term, and that is when you get the value for your money. So today, what are some of the habits of a millionaire? We'll take the first one. One, they take their time. Millionaires take their time. They have a to-do list, and when they invest, they don't expect returns to come immediately, because they believe if you tell them invest today, tomorrow get your return, they know that something is wrong with that investment vehicle. So they take their time. They allow the natural principle, of sowing and reaping to take place. You can't just sow today and say you want to reap tomorrow. So their first habit is they take their time. Number two, they love what they do. This is very interesting. Every billionaire or millionaire, or even the real wealthy people, they love what they do. If I throw a question to some of us now and say, where you are working, the business you are doing, if you just see an alert, $1 billion, will you continue to do that job? Of course. Using the survey questionnaire, more than 99.9% of people will say they will even abuse their employer and leave the job. Which tells you that they don't even enjoy the job they are doing. But the real billionaires, the real wealthy people will continue what they are doing. Because for them, it is not a drive for money, it is a passion. They will tell you, just do what you love, the money will follow you. On this program, we also agree that you don't pursue money, but you attract money. And we know money is neutral. When you attract the money, you make use of it very well, more will continue to follow you. But if you don't treat money very well, of course, you won't attract the money, you repel money. So millionaires or billionaires, they love what they do. And we can take some examples even in Nigeria here or even abroad. Let's look at in Nigeria here, of course, look at the likes of Jimovia. They love to do banking. Look at the likes of Femi Otedola. They love what they are doing. Is it Mike Adenuga? Is it Peter Asada Tedo? These are millionaires. Or even the former chairman of FBN Holding, a lady, Mrs. Awoshika. They say she's the sheer expert. That is, she has a furniture showroom where she produces a chair. Until today, she still does that. So you can see that these persons, they love what they are doing. In fact, I've even seen academics, a professor who even retired as a nuclear physicist. After retiring, because he loved talking to children, he loved teaching, he went to do volunteer teacher in a public secondary school. And what was he teaching them? Physics, ordinary level physics. So you can see it is the passion. By all standard, that professor has paid his price and he's a millionaire because he does not need to work. He has his house. He has whatever you think that is required for him to live a very comfortable life. And of course, his bank account, he has more than how many million. So it doesn't matter the profession in which you find yourself. If you want to be a millionaire, you will be a billionaire. So they love what they do. Number 3, they are always learning. Billionaires are always learning. The ones that you see that they are telling you they are no longer learning, they are not the real millionaires or wealthy people. They keep learning. Even in their field, even in other areas, they keep learning. Of course, when new things come up, they upgrade themselves, they update themselves, and they know what is going on in their industry and other industries. They prioritize their health. If you see any entrepreneur who works, just working, pushing the workers, then that entrepreneur is not a real millionaire or a billionaire, as the case may be. Even the president of the United States, as busy as he is, he goes for a vacation. He goes for medical checkup. So the real millionaires or billionaires, they prioritize their health. Even the way they walk, they are very conscious of the impact of stress on their health, impact of stress on workers. So they take health and wellness very seriously. They invest in their communities and mentor others. That's another habit of a real millionaire or billionaire. They invest in their communities, and you will see impact projects, things that will impact the youth in their community. They also mentor other people. If they're in business, they support other small businesses. They are not in competition with them. And when you are wealthy, you are a billionaire, you are a millionaire, you don't compete, you only create. So they mentor other people and they contribute to their community. They invest in their community. Number 6, they are frugal. That is creative frugality. Unlike the average person, he wants to dress to kill. Meanwhile, he's on the salary of maybe 200,000. He wants to buy the latest tuxedo shoe, the latest designer style. But if you look at the real wealthy billionaires, you will see that, of course, I have my own personal experience. When I met Dangote for the first time, it was just normal, Izzy Babariga, up and down, leather slippers, very simple and all that. In fact, the manager that I went to see in MPA then was even dressing, his dresses were even more expensive than that of Dangote. So you can see that the wealthy millionaire, their habit is, they are very simple, they are frugal. They don't give out money anyhow, but since they support their community, they mentor other people, They even have foundations that they contribute to. So when you come to meet them for money, you will say, oh, they are very stingy. They are not stingy. They've already contributed to the community. And they also have scholarship scheme that they give, you know. So when people will say, so when somebody is in problem, you go to social media, you're asking for money. Those ones that come, so those ones that come and display that they are giving you money, they are not millionaires. They're just living high. Or they go to parties, they are shooting gun and just dishing out money. That is not the millionaire. But the media has made us believe that that is the rich people. No, that's just about 1% of the wealthy few that display that kind of habits. Yes, they plan ahead. Millionaires, they plan ahead. They take calculated risks for any business they're going into. Yes, they might not know everything. Like I said, they keep learning, they plan ahead, and of course, when there are issues, they don't blame anybody. They take responsibility. Yeah, they build strong team. Yes, any billionaire you have seen, you see them creating other billionaires, you know, because they know that they can't do it alone. If in your village you are the only wealthy person, then of course another person is poor, then of course you are not a wealthy person. Yeah, so they build strong team. Even in their company, you know, they give their workers free hand, like what you see, observe in the Dangote group. In fact, he had an interview sometime and he said he knows that some of his staff members have choice property in the UK, but he doesn't have any property in the UK. So you can see how the real wealthy people are and how they behave. They are intentional with money, very intentional with money. They know how to make use of money to work for them, you know. Yes, before I even try to round up, yeah, let's also let's take one of these billionaires outside Nigeria, the one that comes to me readily, Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of is it Facebook now or is it Metaverse now? You know, when he came to Nigeria, Yaba, you can see how he was dressed. You know, but the fake wealthy people, fake millionaires and billionaires, you will have seen what they will have done. So those are some of the habits of these billionaires. The last of their habits is billionaires or millionaires, they embrace change. They embrace change. And they also embrace failure. They don't see failure as something they should cry about. They see failure as a learning process. They learn from every mistake they make. And so that next time they won't make that kind of mistake. So you can see that we can learn from these wealthy billionaires or millionaires, as the case may be, if we study their habits. Because this habit was done a survey of over how many millionaires, and of course this is the common habits that we were able to identify. We're not saying they are perfect people. They also have their own weaknesses. But this habit we have just mentioned cuts across all the millionaires or billionaires we spoke to, and of course it shows us that yes, and it doesn't matter their age, it doesn't matter their sex, it doesn't matter their religion, it doesn't matter their geographical location, wherever they are, they exhibit these habits, you know. And that reminds me, when we're having a program sometime, and we even ask ourselves, what is habits? Something you do continuously, and of course at times you don't even think about it. And we displayed it on the screen, and in one of the sentences I can remember very well, he said, habit is saying, if you handle me very well, I will make you. But if you are firm with me, I will also make you. But if you are lazy with me, are not firm with me, I can also ruin you. And we now ask, you know, we didn't say it was habit. We now say, what can you describe? 90% of our participants told us is their wife. That their wives can ruin them, and at the same time, their wives can make them. I said, well, it can also be the other way around. You flip it, because me, I'm always gender sensitive. Yes, the husbands too can also make or mar their wives. Not only the wives making or marring their husband. So we should just note that, yes, this habit of these millionaires, can we cultivate that habit? Yes, those habits can be cultivated like any other habit, but it takes you time and discipline. Do not give up. One of the focus is discipline. You have to be disciplined. Don't think that all those things you see on social media and you see them in parties displaying, that is not the habit of the real wealthy people, the real millionaires or billionaires. Like I've said earlier, those ones that are just trying to live high. And of course, it could also be borrowed money that just displaying, and those of them who have also acquired their resources, acquired their wealth, not in the legal way. Because if you have acquired your resources, your wealth in a legal way, you will not display it the way we see on social media. So these are some of the habits of these millionaires. Now, how do you cultivate the habits? Yes, like I said, just like any other habit, you decide that yes, you want to keep learning. And some persons will tell me they don't have the time. Am I sure? These rich people, they are very busy. But no matter how busy they are, the ones that we that filled that questionnaire, they told us that no matter what, they read 1 hour a day to materials relating to their field, and of course just general issues going on in the country and in the economy. So if something is very, very important to you, you will make out the time to do it. You just 1 hour. And we also met some people who are also aspiring to be billionaires. They tell us that when they enter BRT, they are bringing out materials and they are reading. They make use of that time, that commuting time. They make use of it. Just like somebody will say, I'm so busy, I'm married, I have children, I cannot go to school again. But we have seen a married woman with 4 children going back to the university to start an undergraduate course, a degree program, law, and she spent 4 years and graduated. How did she do it? She was able to combine her work, her responsibility as a wife, as a mother, and of course as a student. So you can see, once this thing is important to you, you can make out time. So, but again, it's not just going to be overnight. You take your time gradually, and gradually you will get there. Yes, your health. If you think you are so busy, you are not you're not checking your numbers, your blood pressure, your sugar level, cholesterol level, body mass index. For men, of course, prostate gland, you should be able to, once you see certain signs and symptoms, you should see your doctor immediately. And that reminds me, this month is the month of breast cancer for women. Of course, create the awareness and ensure that once you see that kind of lump, please run and see your doctor, because early detection is key. So millionaires take care of their health, and if you are aspiring to be a millionaire, you must give your health a priority. And how do you do that? Simple exercise. You don't need to even go to the gym. Once you wake up, of course, once you have settled with the man upstairs there, then of course you need to exercise yourself. They eat well. They don't eat junk. They take the advice of their doctors. So these are some of the habits that you need to develop, cultivate, and with time you will see yourself again intentional with money. You must be intentional with your money. Do you have a plan? Do you have a budget or a planned spending? They do their own personal financial planning, and if they have issue, they consult the professionals to come and sort things out for them. So you can see, and they are disciplined set of people. Like I said, you can have some exceptions. They are not perfect. They also have their own weaknesses, whether they are married or not married or even divorced. So don't say because the man is divorced, that's why he cannot keep a marriage, that's why he's a billionaire. Or no. Irrespective of your marital status, like we said, they are equally human beings. And I can even give an example. You see Elon Musk, of course, they say he couldn't manage his marriage very well, and is one of the richest man in the world. What about Bill Gates? After so many years, we heard that he was having an issue with his wife. So, but that does not stop him from being a billionaire or one of the richest person in the world. Like we are saying, they are not perfect human beings. They also have their own weak points. But for you to acquire wealth, for you to acquire money and direct money to do the things that you want money to do for you, because we have said here, it is the lack of money that is the root of all evil. It is the lack. Because I cannot imagine how somebody would say, I want to become a millionaire. You go and cut somebody's hair, you are doing rituals. It's the lack of money that are doing those evil. But anyway, if we go spiritual, they are telling us that it is the love of money, not money itself. Because money itself is neutral. It's just a currency that wants to be deployed. You can use it for good, you can use it for bad. Yes, for you to be a billionaire, that reminds me of a popular comedy show sometimes in the late 80s and early 90s, Bassi and Company, where the main character there, I think that's his name is Bassi, yes, and he was saying, if you want to be like a millionaire, think like a millionaire. Thank you.